The Dodgers have won 80 or more games every year since 2005. They've won the NL West 7 years in a row, the third longest streak since the modern division format was put into place. They look to be the best team in baseball, let alone in their division, again in 2020, albeit in a changed season. They've been led by all-time greats like Clayton Kershaw and Zack Greinke, young stars like Yasiel Puig and Corey Seager, and influential veterans like Adrian Gonzalez and Justin Turner. Shortly put, the Dodgers have been the most successful team in baseball in the regular season over this time span. Part of this comes from their overabundance of money. They had the highest payroll in the MLB every year from 2013 to 17, with the fourth highest in 2018 and the third highest in 2019, as well as the second highest projected payroll for 2020. But a larger part of their sustained success has been the development of young talent, as the team has churned out young stars with regularity, with Corey Seager, Cody Bellinger, Walker Buehler, and Gavin Lux being the most notable additions of late. But the place they haven't succeeded is in the playoffs, where in their 7 straight appearances, they've lost 3 division series, 2 championship series, and 2 World Series. A lot of their players tend to do worse on the biggest stage, with Clayton Kershaw, Cody Bellinger, and the bullpen being some common culprits. And most of the time, when the Dodgers have underperformed in the playoffs, it's been just that, underperformance. But in one year, the year when the Dodgers came the closest to winning it all, they really deserved to win. That year was 2017. I'm sure you're familiar with the Astros cheating scandal, so I won't go into a lot of detail about it. But we know that in 2017, including the playoffs, the Astros were stealing signs. Now, there's a common argument that even if they weren't stealing signs, the Astros could have won anyway. And sure, that's true. But in the games that took place in this World Series, and in one game in particular, it's virtually undeniable that they wouldn't have. But they did. In 2017, the Dodgers were the best team in baseball, winning 104 games, including a 51-game stretch from June 7th to August 6th, in which they went 44-7, the best such stretch in over 100 years. Led by Rookie of the Year Cody Bellinger and a deep offense and pitching staff, it was their best record since 1953. They cruised through the first 2 rounds of the playoffs, sweeping the Diamondbacks in the NLDS and beating the Cubs 4-1 in the NLCS. On the other side of the story, the Astros broke out in 2017, winning 101 games with the 3rd best record in the MLB. Led by American League MVP Jose Altuve and trade deadline acquisition Justin Verlander, they beat the Red Sox 3-1 in the division series and won all 4 of their home games to edge the Yankees in the ALCS, 4-3. What would follow was one of the most controversial World Series since the Black Sox scandal of 1919. Now, since the Astros only had their cameras which they used to steal signs at home games, we can safely say the outcomes of the 4 games in LA would have been the same. In Game 1, Kershaw delivered a clutch performance, striking out 11 in 7 one-run innings against only 3 hits and 0 walks. Kershaw has had many of these performances in the playoffs, but they're not talked about nearly as much as his blow-ups. A leadoff homer by Chris Taylor.
That is scooped and lifted way out of here into left. Bang! Starts the World Series for Chris Taylor.
And a 2-run shot by Justin Turner.
High fly ball into left. Off the bat of Turner. At the wall. It's gone. Turner makes it 3-1 Dodgers in Game 1.
Were enough to propel the Dodgers to victory, 3-1.
Into right center field should end it. Puig is there. Dodgers win Game 1.
Game 2 was a classic, an incredibly exciting back-and-forth game, which we can happily know was not influenced by the Astros sign stealing. The dominant Justin Verlander held the Dodgers to 3 runs in 6 innings, but he was matched by Rich Hill in the Dodgers bullpen, who held the Astros to 1 run through 7. But after an RBI single by Carlos Correa in the 8th,
that's up the middle. A run scores on a base hit by Correa, who looks to his dugout as he celebrates going down the line. It's a 1-run game.
And a solo homer by Marwin Gonzalez in the 9th off of Dodgers closer Kenley Jansen.
Showed no inclination last inning. Gonzalez hits one in the air into left center field. Back at the wall. It is gone. Tie game in the 9th. Marwin Gonzalez.
The game was tied at 3. After Ken Giles sat the heart of the Dodgers order down 1-2-3, the Dodgers brought in Josh Fields for the top of the 10th. Jose Altuve?
10th inning, Altuve into left center field, back at the wall, it is gone! Jose Altuve!
And Carlos Correa.
Here's one into left center field off the bat of Correa. Altuve and Correa go back to back.
Promptly went back to back to give the Astros a 5-3 lead. But in the bottom of the 10th, Yasiel Puig hit his own leadoff homer.
With the rest of us. Puig hits one a ton to left. It's a one-run game.
And a 2-out walk.
Forsythe takes a walk.
Wild pitch.
That gets away, and the tying run down to second on a wild pitch.
And RBI single.
Base hit right field. Here comes Forsythe. Thrown by Reddick. Is not in time. Tie game.
Tied the game for the Dodgers. In the 11th, with the Dodgers on their 9th pitcher of the night, eventual World Series MVP George Springer hit a 2-run shot.
To Springer. That's into right center field. Well hit. Won't be caught. It is gone for a home run. George Springer goes deep, and the Astros are back on top by 2.
To break it open again, 7-5. Chris Stavensky sat down Corey Seager and Justin Turner to get one out away in the bottom of the 11th. When little-known utility man Charlie Culberson launched a shot.
Dodgers a chance. They need a base runner, and here's a high fly ball into left. Back at the wall. It is gone. 7-6. And Culberson celebrates, but it's a one-run game.
To get the Dodgers within 1. Up came Yasiel Puig, who, after a 9-pitch battle,
struck him out, and the Astros win it 7-6. A final in 11 innings in a game that lasted over 4 hours.
finally succumbed to a curveball, giving the Astros the win. That was a fantastic game, but it wasn't even the best of the series. We'll get to that one in a bit. Skipping past the games in Houston, Game 6 at Dodger Stadium was a 3-1 win for the Dodgers, as Rich Hill and the bullpen once again overcame a strong start from Verlander to tie the series at 3.
Got it! This series too good to end in 6. Dodgers force a Game 7. They win it 3-1.
And in Game 7, a 2-run first and a 3-run second off of Yu Darvish.
3-2 to Springer. Shot into left center field. Back at the wall. It's gone. Springer stays hot. And it's 5-0 Houston here in the second.
Gave the Astros an early lead. Kershaw came in and threw 4 shutout innings. But Lance McCullers, Brad Peacock, and Charlie Morton did the heavy lifting in holding the Dodgers to 1 run and securing a World Series title.
Traded over here because of the Sanchez success.
Here's a ground ball right side, could do it. The Houston Astros are world champions for the first time in franchise history.
This was amazing at the time. A team full of young, likable stars winning the first World Series title their team had seen in one of the best World Series of all time. But in retrospect, it's a bit harder to enjoy. Let's look back at those games in Houston. In Game 3, Yu Darvish got beat up, and Yuli Gurriel was the exception to the likability of the Astros, as his racist gestures after homering off of Darvish were disgusting. But the Astros did win this one.
High fly ball to right. Reddick is there, and the Astros take Game 3.
And it's unclear whether they would have lost without cheating, so I'm not going to focus on this one. Game 4 was a close one, as Alex Wood and Charlie Morton traded strong performances, but with the game tied at 1 in the 9th, the Dodgers put up 5 runs to tie the series at 2. And this brings us to the most interesting game in the series. Game 5 of this World Series was arguably the second best game in World Series history, behind Game 7 in 2016. But in this game, it is almost impossible that the Astros sign stealing did not hand them victory. one of 4 they would need to win the title. The game featured former Cy Young winners Clayton Kershaw and Dallas Keuchel, neither of them in their prime, but both were still capable of dominating. The game started badly for the Astros, as a single, a pair of walks, another single, and an error led to a 3-run first for the Dodgers. The pitchers traded zeros for a couple innings until a few hits and another run led manager A.J. Hinch to pull Keuchel. In the bottom of the inning, the Astros came out ready to hit. A walk, a single, and a double led to the Astros scoring their first run. And then, this happened.
Altuve. Second and third, 1 out. Gurriel has tied it!
That whistle beforehand has been subject to much debate, as it seems to alert Gurriel to the coming pitch. It's hard to tell exactly what pitch it is, because as Kershaw's velocity dropped leading up to this postseason and the years since, he's lost a lot of separation between his fastball and slider. His fastball hovering around 90, his slider in the low to mid 80s. This pitch is 89, which would be one of his slowest fastballs, or one of his fastest sliders. The pitch seems to break more than a fastball, but not as much as his slider, which, if you didn't know, is nasty. Regardless, Gurriel sat on it. This charge whistle
Altuve. Second and third.
Can be heard hundreds of times throughout the game, but it's not always on a fastball or always on a breaking pitch. Maybe the Astros were constantly changing their way of signaling the Dodgers' signs. There's no way to know. Kershaw escaped the inning without further damage, but it was tied at 4. In the top of the 5th, however, Colin McHugh walked the first 2 batters, and after a strikeout, up came the slumping Cody Bellinger, who was 2 for 17 so far in the World Series. But, with a 2-2 count, he did this.
High fly ball into right, back at the wall, it's gone! Bellinger with a 3-run home run.
With the Dodgers up 7-4 in the bottom of the 5th, Kershaw got the first 2 outs. But after walking 2 batters, manager Dave Roberts decided to pull him in favor of Kenta Maeda. Jose Altuve came to the plate, and after a 6-pitch battle, he did this.
Waits, another 3-2 and a high fly ball, deep left center field, at the wall, tie game! Unbelievable! Altuve, 7-7.
Nothing happened in the 6th, and then in the top of the 7th, Bellinger came up big again.
Into center, Springer. That's past him and to the wall. Kike Hernandez will come all the way around. Digging for third is Bellinger, and the Dodgers are back on top, 8-7.
In the bottom of the 7th, the fragile Brandon Morrow came into pitch for the 3rd day in a row. Springer led off by tying it.
High fly ball, goodbye. 1 pitch to Springer, and we're tying again.
Followed by Bregman doing this.
Here's a base hit into left center field off the bat of Bregman. First pitch swinging, Bregman is on.
Altuve doing this.
Nobody out. Altuve into left. This ball is over the head of Peterson. Digging for third, Bregman. They bring him home. The throw. Late. Astros lead. 9-8.
And Correa doing this.
He lifts it into left. Down the line. At the wall. Goodbye.
To put the Astros up by 3. And yes, Morrow stayed in that whole time. After he was pulled, the Astros went down 1-2-3, leading us to the 8th inning. The Dodgers scored 1 on a pair of doubles.
Will Harris. That's into left center field. Gonzalez won't get it. Peterson to the plate. Digging for third and stopping is Taylor. And it's an 11-9 game on a double by Corey Seager.
In the bottom of the 8th, Brian McCann reopened the lead to 3 with a solo shot.
Record for the Dodgers. Here's one into right. Back at the wall. It is another home run. McCann. And the 3-run lead is back.
So, the Dodgers went to the ninth, needing 3 runs to tie it. A.J. Hinch called on Chris Devenski to close it out, just like he had done in Game 2. Bellinger led off with a walk.
A leadoff walk with a 3-run lead in the ninth.
Followed by a strikeout of Logan Forsythe. Then, Yasiel Puig did this.
That is hooked down into the corner at the wall. It's gone. It is a 1-run game. 2-run home run by Yasiel Puig.
Suddenly, only down by 1, the light-hitting Austin Barnes mustered a double.
That's into the gap in left center field. This ball is down. Barnes is going to try. The throw in. He is safe with a double.
But Devenski came back by inducing a groundout from Jock Peterson to get the Dodgers down to their last out. With the game on the line, Chris Taylor did this.
Taylor ties it. 12-12.
Devenski managed to get out of the inning with the game tied, 12-12. By the way, this was now the 3rd highest scoring World Series game of all time. What followed was a scoreless 9th from the Astros, a scoreless 10th from the Dodgers, and when Dave Roberts sent Kenley Jansen out for his 2nd inning of work, a 2-out hit by pitch,
And that hits McCann.
and a walk.
No ball go.
That's ball 4.
Led to this.
To scamper home. 2 on, 2 out. 10th inning. That's in the air to left. Here comes Fisher. Throw by Ethier. Astros win it in 10.
This game was absolutely insane. The lead changed or the score became tied 8 different times. For all the chaos, the ending was very symmetrical. The Dodgers scored 12 runs on 14 hits and 1 error. The Astros scored 13 runs on 14 hits and 1 error. Now, none of the individual moments in which the Astros sat on a certain pitch or clutched up in an unlikely situation is incriminating on its own. But we know for a fact that they were stealing signs and using it to their advantage. People have called for varying punishments for the team. The Astros manager and general manager received 1-year suspensions from baseball, and they were promptly fired by the team owner. The team lost its 1st and 2nd round draft picks for 2 years, and the team was fined $5 million. Carlos Beltran, who was with the team in 2017, lost a managing job with the Mets. Alex Cora, who was with the team in 2017, lost his job managing the Red Sox. But many people think all that isn't enough. They think that, 1, individual players should be punished, as it was supposedly a player-led process. For example, Jose Altuve won the MVP award, and many people believe it should now be awarded to Aaron Judge, who came in 2nd. On top of that, many people think the Astros title should be stripped. Some people even think it should be awarded to the Dodgers. Personally, I don't know what I want, as I don't think retroactively awarding the title to the Dodgers would be very meaningful. And you can't take away the fact that they lost those games, unfairly or not. I do think I want to see a harsher punishment for the Astros, however, and specifically for players who were known to use the stolen signs. But the punishment isn't what would really make things better. What I and countless other fans wish is that there was some way to compensate for the loss experienced by the Dodgers. While in the grand scheme of things, they're all wealthy and play a game for a living, there's just no way to get over what could have been for them. And it's not just that the Astros had an unfair advantage. It's not even that it was such a close, back-and-forth game. It's that the Dodgers did so well. And in a season where they won 104 games, in a stretch of 7 straight postseason failures, and in a game in which they scored 12 runs and lost by 1 to a team that was stealing their signs, and in a series where winning that game would have meant winning it all, the Dodgers deserved better than what they got.